Hello everyone, Gaza Mutkosh, and I welcome you all to the session on data cleaning with SQL scripts. So guys, let's have a look at the agenda for this session. The agenda for this session includes understanding views and then creating views for the clean data reporting. So guys, till the previous session, we have discussed how to handle missing values, how to handle malformed values, how to handle duplicates, right? So let's get started with this session on views. So guys, I'm switching to the MySQL Workbench window. So guys, over here we are in the MySQL Workbench, right? So the data that we have over here is, let's say the database that I'm using is DBDemo. First, we'll be understanding the concept of views. Then we'll be creating a table, let's say where we can clean the data using the views, or maybe we can generate a cleaned view, right? And then we'll be solving a couple of questions. So what is a view? View is simply a stored query, right? View does not store any data. It is simply a stored query. So views are the database objects that can also be called as the virtual tables. View is also referred to as the virtual table because it does not contain any data. Rather, it stores the query. So when we call the view, so it fetches the data from the corresponding table based on which the view has been created in the first place. So views do not store any data, rather they store the stored query. So they are the logical representation of the actual data. So why do we need views in the first place? Because at times, let's say it is doable to write a complex query once or twice. However, if we need to use it many times, right, a more practical approach is necessary. This is where SQL views come into picture. All right. So we use views, let's say, to write, let's say, n number of complex queries. So instead of, let's say, writing them over and over again for multiple different scenarios, we can store, let's say, the foundational table for the cleaned data or the transformed data into a view. And on top of it, maybe we can, let's say, utilize the filters, sorting, and the different operations that may be required. So simply put, it is doable to write a complex query once or twice, but if I were to write such queries n number of times from originating from the same couple of tables or maybe just one table, so a more practical approach would be to utilize the views. All right, so let's first have a look at the syntax, how to create a view. So what is the syntax to create a view? Over here, we can create a view like this, create or replace view as, and then we write the query. All right, so maybe we can write the select query. We can write it like this. All right, and then let's say over here we have from maybe the tables, from one table or maybe multiple tables. All right, so this is what we have. Select column 1, column 2 from n number of tables that we might have, and then that's it. So this is how we create the view. This is how we'll be creating the view, and to call the view we can simply write select star from. So create or replace view, and then we need to write the view name. This is the view name, right? So over here I can simply write it like this. So this is the syntax to create the view, and this is the syntax to execute the view, right? Or execute, or let's say call the view. So this is the procedure. So over here I can write select star from the view name, and then over here I'm writing create or replace view name as select column 1, column 2 star from the table 1, right? So this is how we write the view. So let's first understand the data that we have at hand. So over here I'm having, let's say, some untidy or dirty data. So I'm calling it the table name as orders data, which is dirty in nature. So I'm having the order ID, which is integer. Then I have the customer name, which is varchar. Then I have the product name as varchar. Then I have the quantity as varchar. Then the order date is again in varchar 50. So order date, order ID is there, customer name, the product name means customer. So for each order ID, the customer is ordering some product, right? Then the quantity in which they're ordering the product, I need to know this. Then what is the order date on which the product has been ordered? What is the price per unit? So price per unit, suppose the price per unit is 100 and the ordered quantity is 4. So the total amount would be 400. So what is the delivery status? Has the product been delivered, shipped, returned, all right, or maybe cancelled? Then what is the delivery date? So we do have the order date and the delivery date in the same table, and then we also have the customer email. So from which email ID was used to place the order. So all these details are present. So how many columns do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 columns in total, and majority of the columns are varchar only. Even order date and let's say the delivery date, they are in varchar, they are not in date time. So let me run this query. So this is the first means first of all I'll be creating the table, right? So let me drop the table orders dirty. So I've dropped the table. Now I'm creating this table from the scratch. So let's execute the table. So guys, as we can see, the table has been created. So over here I can write select star from orders dirty. This is what I'm writing. And then if I press execute, then what do I get? See, the order ID, customer name, product name, quantity, order date, price per unit, delivery status, delivery date, and then we have the customer email, right? So these are the details that we have. These are the columns that we have, but currently we don't have any data. So over here I'm inserting the data into the orders dirty table. So I'm only inserting 10 records. So just have a look. So over here I'm having order ID 1, then the name is John Doe, then the product is laptop, the quantity is 2, this is the order date. What is the price? The price is $1,000. What is the order status? The order status is delivered. Then the delivery date is 2023 520, right? The order date was 2023 514 and the delivery date is 520. And what is the email? johndoe@email.com. So the email address is malformed. Even these two dates are malformed. And let's say as far as the amount is concerned, the amount is in dollars. Then the second ID we have Jane Smith. The product is smartphone. The quantity is 3. And then over here we have, this is the order date 14/6/2023. The amount is 25,000 and the delivery status is pending. And there is no delivery date mentioned. And the email is jane.smith@domain. Next we have ID 3. It's Rahul Mehta. The product ordered is tablet. The quantity is 1. The order date was 2023 7/10. The amount is $300. The product delivery status is delivered. And over here we have July 15 23. The delivery date is July 15 23. And what is the email address? It's rahul.mehta@example.com. Then we have ID 4, Aman Kapoor. So the product order is headphone, the quantity ordered is 2. And what is the order date? Order date is 7/25/23 and the amount is $75. The delivery status is cancelled. The delivery date is null because it's pending, so there is no delivery date. Because it's cancelled, so again there is no delivery date. And the email address is aman.kapoor@email.com. Then for ID 5 we have Priya Singh. The ordered product is mobile charger. The quantity is 1. The order date is 2023/8/01. The amount is 500. Let's say the order status is delivered and the delivery date is 2023/8/03. So 801 and 803, so delivered in just 2 days. And the email is priyasingh@example.com. So maybe I can change the ID 6. So it's Priya Singh. Let's change this. So okay, over here I'll call this let's say Rishabh Singh. Okay, maybe Rishabh, let's call this Dubey. And the ordered product is maybe laptop stand. The ordered quantity is 1. Over here I'll pass 2024 010 and maybe 05. And the amount is maybe 1500. The order status is delivered. And this would be 24 10 and then 12. All right, and the email is rishabh.dubey@gmail.com. So these are the details, right? And for the last order, the name is not present. The ordered product is not available. Means everything mostly is unknown or empty, right? So this is the data that we have. Let's insert this dirty data into the table. So as we can see, the data has been inserted. So once the data has been inserted, let's view the table. Select star from orders dirty. So we have to do a lot of cleaning, and for that we'll be using the view. All right, and for that we'll be utilizing the view. So this is what we have. We have order ID, customer name, product name, quantity, order date, price per unit, delivery status, and then the delivery date. Besides the delivery date, what else do we have? We have the customer email, and clearly we can see that the data over here, the data that we have over here contains a lot of malformed values and reformed values as well. So let's clean this data. So let's see what all things do we need. So first of all, in order ID, we don't need to do any cleaning. For the customer name, so this is the objective, right? Let's understand the objective, what all cleaning is required. For the customer name, what all things do we need to change? We need to trim the customer name, right? This is the first requirement. We have to trim the customer name, and maybe let's say either lower or uppercase. We can apply lower or uppercase to the customer name. Then we have the product name. Now as far as the product name is concerned, again it requires trimming, and then maybe I can convert it into lower or uppercase. All right. Then we have the order date. So for order date, it needs proper date formatting. All right. Maybe we can convert it into YYYYMMDD. All right. So date formatting is required, and means clearly the data is ill-formed. Then we have the price per unit. So what all changes do we need to make in the price per unit? So in price per unit, we have to, let's say, remove dollars. All right, we have to remove dollars or remove the comma. That's it. Remove dollars and comma, and then delivery status. So next we have the delivery status. So delivery status, we have to convert it into lower or upper. That's it. So these are the different delivery status. Then we have the delivery date. So again, same problems even over here. We do have the delivery date, right? So for the delivery date, again, I need to do the date formatting. And then we have the customer email. So over here, maybe we can apply email validation. Over here, we can apply the email validation. This has to be implemented, right? To ensure that the data being entered is correct. So these are the priorities that we need to handle. So no need to make any changes in order ID, no need to make any changes, so any special changes in, okay, quantity is also there, right? So for quantity, there's another column called quantity. So maybe we can convert string to integer. All right, so typecasting is required, so I need to convert string to integer. Let's see. So over here, I'm creating a view. Just observe this. So the view is create or replace view. What is the view name? The view name is orders clean. The view name that I'm passing over here is orders clean. As now, after as I'm writing the query inside the view. So first I'm selecting order ID, no need to make any changes. Then what was the change required for the customer name? For customer name, I had to trim it, I had to convert it into lower or uppercase. And the same goes for the product name, right? So for customer name and product name, I have to apply trim, and then let's say trim followed by lower or uppercase functions. So this is what I'm utilizing over here: trim upper customer name as the customer name, then trim upper product name as the product name, right? So these two columns we have handled like this. Then as far as the quantity is concerned, we have to convert string it into integer. So let's see what I'm writing over here. So this is the first one, right? This is the first one. This is the customer name. So customer name we have transformed over here. Okay, maybe I'll write it in the same order in which we do have the data. So after customer name and product name, we have to make changes to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So then we need to make changes in the quantity. So quantity is the third one. I have to convert integer to string. So over here, I'll be utilizing the regex. So this is the customer name. The second one is the product name. The second one is the product name. And then we have this. The third one is the column, right? The quantity. So how are we transforming the quantity? Let's see this. So for quantity, what I'm doing, I need to convert string to integer, right? So when the quantity is regexp, when the quantity is in regex format 0 to 9, then we accept, we are converting it to unsigned. We are converting the quantity into unsigned integer, and otherwise if it is lower of 3, because the quantity column has this value 3. So 3 is present over here, right? So because of this 3, the data type of this column is not integer. We can check the data type. So I can write describe orders dirty. So if I were to run this over here, what am I getting? This is orders dirty, right? So let's see what are we getting. These are the values that I'm getting. So over here, the quantity is varchar, not an integer. So over here, I'm converting it to integer. All right. So if the value, if the quantity is regexp, it is following this pattern 0 to 9, maybe more than 0 or 1 digits. So then I'm converting it to unsigned integer. And if the lowercase quantity is 3, then I'm writing simply 3. So else null. So this is how, let's say, the quantity column is handled. Next, I'm transforming the date. So which date do I need to transform? I'm transforming the order date, right? Next, I have to handle the order date. So this is where I do have the order date. So order date, I have to standardize date format. So there are different date formats. So first I'm writing string to date order date. Case when the order date, like let's say percentage means any number of characters, then forward slash, then percentage, then any number of characters, then I'm transforming it into percentage y, percentage m, percentage d. When order date means when it is of this format, again I'm transforming it to percentage y, percentage m, percentage d. And when the order date is of this format, then again I'm converting it to percentage m, percentage d, and percentage y, else null. So let's check the order date format that we have. So the order date format that we have over here, if you observe this, we have 7 rows. So clearly couple of rows, let's say they are in y, 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 mmdd. So this is correct, this is correct, these two are correct. And for the remaining this is dd mm y, 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 right? And this is mm dd y, 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 y. So these two needs to be handled separately. So the first one, this one handles percentage y, 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 mmdd. Then this is for the forward slash and the hyphen. Forward slash and hyphen both are handled over here. So these two are handled over here. Then the remaining two should be handled with this. Alright, this should handle the remaining two. So this is percentage m, percentage d, and percentage y. So this should handle the order date, right? So this is string to date. Then we have the fifth. Fifth is price per unit. So in the price per unit, I have to remove dollars and comma. So I have to remove dollars and comma. So how are we removing this? Over here I'm writing cast replace replace replace. So price per unit, if it contains dollars, so I'm removing it. If it contains comma, I'm removing it. If it contains rupee, I'm removing it. If it contains space, I'm removing it, right? So what all changes I'm let's say applying? I'm removing dollar, then comma, then see, these are the things that I'm removing: dollar, comma, and space. So space and comma, these are the four entities that I'm getting rid of. Alright, so these are the things that I'm getting rid of. So once this is done, so I'm replacing this as the decimal 10, 2 price per unit. This is going to be my price per unit. Once this is done, then I need to, let's say, handle the delivery status normalization. So for delivery status, I need to convert it into simply lower and upper. So this is for the delivery status. Normalization simply means lower or upper. So upper trim, lower delivery status, and even trim. So this was the 6th column. Then the 7th column was again delivery date, right? So for delivery date, we have to standardize. For the delivery date, again we need to just proceed with the standardization. So again the same procedure. So if the delivery date is like percentage, so then percentage y, percentage m, percentage d. And when the delivery date like percentage with space in between. So over here then I'll be writing percentage m, percentage d, and then percentage y. So first let's check what kind of delivery date do we have. And the last one would be email. So we have to email, right? So this requires proper validation. So fixed email format, rather email validation. So this would require regex. This would require regex. So over here, let's see. First we'll have to look at the delivery date, right? What kind of values do we have in delivery date? So in the delivery date, let's observe the values and the transformation that I have carried about here. So this is y, 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 mmdd. So this handles it. Okay, not this one. Let's scroll down. Yeah, so y, 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 mmdd, this can handle it, and even these two will be handled with this. All right, and for the null values, currently we're not handling the null values, right? So this should be handled. This is for this one, July percentage, percentage d, percentage y, and this will handle these dates. So this is again handled. All right, using the case statement, we are handling this. Next, we need to fix the email, right? So we have to provide valid email format. So let's check what is the proper email format that we have. So email over here that we have passed is, see, John Doe @email.com is incorrect. There should be only one @. Jane Smith domain is again incorrect. .com is missing. Rahul Mehta email.com, this is correct. Then Aman Kapoor email.com, even this is correct. Priya Singh example.com is correct. Rishabh Dubey gmail.com, even this is correct. So it's only an issue in the first two IDs. For the first two order IDs, the email mentioned is incorrect. So we need to reform certain things. So maybe over here I can use the regexp format. So case when customer email regexp, so how should an email be formed? What should be the validation rule? So over here I'm passing it should start with capital A to Z or lowercase a to Z or 0 to 9, means it can contain dot, underscore, percentage, plus, minus, etc. This is what it contains in the means before @ then followed by @, then after @ again it can contain capital A to Z, lowercase a to Z, 0 to 9. Now this plus over here indicates more than one character. So now after @ it should contain capital A to Z, lowercase a to Z, 0 to 9, dot and hyphen, again plus. Plus indicates one or more. Then it is followed by dot. So @ some domain dot, and after dot we have to ensure that it is of the format capital A to Z or A to Z. .com, in, edu cannot contain numbers. So this can be at least 2 characters or more. 2 characters as in in, 2 or more characters includes, let's say, .com, maybe USA or something, and then end. So this is where it needs to start from. This is where it needs to end from. So if this format is followed, then I need to display the customer email, else I can display null and as the customer email. So this is how we have transformed all the columns, right? So each and every column that we have seen, we have transformed over here. So 8 columns requires, let's say 8, there were transformation was required in the 8 columns, and we have applied these transformations in all the 8 columns, right? In all the 8 columns, the transformation has been applied. There was no transformation required, and data cleaning was needed as far as the order ID was concerned. So we have not made, or we haven't applied any transformation in the order ID column. So once this is done, let's generate this view. So it's a very long view, and from orders dirty, right? So this is the view. Let's run this. So guys, it says create or replace view. So view has been created. So if we check this database, db demo1, so there is a view called orders clean, right? We have this view called orders clean. So once we have this view, so let's view the data. What do we have in the data? So this is the query to execute the view, or we can say call the view, right? Call the view. This is the procedure. So let me run this. So guys, if we check, the customer name is in uppercase, and all the, let's say, order IDs is already sorted. Customer name is in uppercase. Product name is also in uppercase. As far as the quantity is concerned, so for order ID 3, the quantity is null. Let's check this. Orders dirty. So for orders dirty over here, we have 3. Okay, so where is it going wrong? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's run this. So for order ID 3, the quantity is null. Let's check. For order ID 3, the quantity is null. That is not the case, right? Okay, we'll check this. We'll come to this. Then as we can see, the order date is correct. 2023 514, 2014 620, 23 710, 23 81, 24 10 5, right? So for other two IDs, ID number, what are the order IDs? We have 4 and 7. So for 4 and 7, it is empty. Let's check. For ID number 4 and 7, so means this was not transformed. We did not transform this. So for 4 and 7, it's empty. All right, makes sense. Then for orders clean, what else do we have? Then we have price per unit. So price per unit has been transformed, right? So 1000, 25,000, 3000, 75, 500, 1500. Let's check this. So 1000, 25,000, 300, 75,000, and then 500, 1500. Then what about the delivery status? The delivery status that we are getting over here is delivered, pending, delivered, cancelled, unknown. Yes, this is correct. And the delivery date, at least for 4 dates, we are getting the records. For customer email, the first 2 were incorrect, the rest 4 are correct, so they are valid. So this is correct. Now the only concern is this. For Rahul Mehta, the order quantity was 1. We can check this. For Rahul Mehta, the ordered quantity was 1. So why are we getting this error? Let's check this. So for quantity, what have we done? We have applied this pattern, right? We have applied this pattern, and if it's 3, then 3 would be displayed, else null. So but quantity, okay, let me write this. Let's write this outside of the query. So select quantity, and then from the orders dirty. This is the data that we have. Let's see. So for the last row it is returning null, that makes sense, but somehow this one is not getting parsed. This one is not getting parsed, so it is starting from 0. What if I write from 1? Okay, again it's showing null. So okay, let's see the kind of data that we have entered. Okay, so over here we have entered 1 as a space, right? 1 is present with the extra space. Are you getting this? That is the reason why I'm getting this error. So we need to trim it first and then apply. All right, so we have to apply the trimming part as well. So where is the data for quantity, right? Let's say lower of quantity, so we can let's say quantity regexp. So quantity, okay, maybe we can write trim of quantity. Let's see if this works. So if I write trim of quantity, so now this should work. Let's see this, and then I'll make the changes in the view. So yes, now it's working. So let's apply these changes. So I just need to make this change, right? Over here I can mention trim of quantity. So I'll rerun the query, I'll rerun the view, and then we'll get this done. So guys, once this is executed, now I can rerun this. So orders clean, this should display. See, now we're getting all the quantities, right? Now we are clearly getting all the quantities, and majority of the things has been cleaned. Not all, but majority of things are cleaned as far as this view is concerned. So guys, this is how we can use the view, let's say, to clean the dirty data, and this is meant for entire data cleaning and for reporting. So guys, this is how, let's say, we do end up creating the views. Now this has been a very long view, and why? Because we have dealt with, let's say, transforming 8 different columns differently. Now a couple of columns of course had similar transformations, such as customer name, product name, and the delivery status, and likewise even order date and the delivery date followed similar transformation. But for email required a special type of transformation, such as regex validation. Price per unit, we needed to remove dollars, rupee, comma, etc. And quantity, we had to convert string into integer, and even trim the string part, right? Trim the string values. So we have applied these transformations, and yes, delivery status, we just had to convert it into lower and upper for standardization. So guys, this part is done, and that brings us to the end of this session. So let's switch to the PPT. So guys, in this session, we have understood and implemented views. We have understood the concept of views. We have seen how to create views, how to execute them, and what all changes it can bring, right? Means how we can clean the data using the views. So in the next session, we shall be looking into star schema, data denormalization, flattening hierarchies, etc. Thank you.